Okay. Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, Anmol, you are audible, absolutely clear.
Okay, sir. Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thank you so much for inviting me to the podcast.
Sir, we are honored to have you. Like on a very short notice, you have accepted our request, and it's a kind of good opportunity for us to learn in the particular session. And sir, through
Thank
this
you.
discussion, basically we'll be having a much detailed discussion about psych. And sir, as we have mentioned our attendees. So, sir, before starting, I'll let our viewers to inform something about you. So, basically, sir is an alumni of St. Thomas College, Dehradun. He successfully cleared the Combined Defense Service exam and joined IMA in the year 2003. And after successful completion of his training, he got commissioned in the Regiment of Artillery on 12 June 2004. Sir has put in 20 years of glorious service in the Indian Army and has had vast operational experiences while operating in various hostile terrains all across the country, be it high altitude areas of Ladakh, Kargil and Dras region, or counter-insurgency inflicted regions of Assam and Nagaland. During his illustrious career, Sir has cleared the prestigious Technical Officer and Psychological course from DIPR, that is Defense Institute of Psychological Research, New Delhi, and was thereafter bestowed with the opportunity to perform duties of psychological assessor at 22 Services Selection Board, Bhopal. During his tenure at the SSB, Sir successfully assessed more than 800 candidates and proved to be an asset to the organization. Sir, so my first question to you is, sir, so can you please explain briefly about the role of a psychologist in the whole interview process?
Well, firstly, Anmol, I must thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak to the viewers. That is one. And second is that you spoke so well about me. So thank you so much once again for that as well. As per your question, so far as psychological test is concerned, we have in the SSB three tests that are there. One is these tests are basically a medium to check your personality. The personality is checked from three different ways. So psychological aspect is one way of testing your personality. Likewise, you have the group testing officer who tests you in a group, and then you have an interviewing officer who individually one-to-one interviews you like any other normal interview, and that is also one of the techniques through which he tests you. So psychological testing is one of the techniques that is employed to check your personality. By personality, I mean not the visual personality, the aura that you have, but it is basically your what kind of a person you are from within, and what is your thought process, how are your behaviors to a particular situation. So those aspects are checked. And psychological, as I just brought out, psychological testing is one of the mediums only. So you have three mediums. One is Mansa, Vacha, and Karmana. So Mansa that is your thoughts. So that is how the psychological test checks you through your mind. The Vacha is through the interview. That is the interviewing officer who checks it. And the Karmana is the group testing officer. So these are the three basic principles on which the SSB works.
Right, sir. And sir, there is a very common perception in the minds of many candidates that if a psychologist rejects you or if he or she says no, so you won't be selected. So is it true, sir?
Not really. The testing procedure is designed such that all the three assessors have an equal say. That is psychologist as well as the GTO and the interviewing officer. So all three have an equal say to it. So this is a myth that a psychologist rejects when the candidate doesn't get selected. So it is not like that. And however, even if he feels that the person is not suitable for the organization and he puts a veto to it, then yes, that's a separate case altogether. However, that veto can be put by any of the assessors. It is not just a psychologist. It can be put by the GTO as well as by the interviewing officer.
Right, sir. Sir, so what are the key psychological qualities that SSB looks for in a candidate?
We are trained to assess 15 OLQs and see whether a candidate possesses those OLQs or not. So there are a set of 15 OLQs that I would like to mention. They are divided into 4 factors. One is your effective intelligence, which is basically different from the basic intelligence that you have. Whether you are able to practically apply yourself, and then whether how resourceful you are. So that is one. Then second is your reasoning ability, how well you can grasp things, and what is your inquiring attitude, and whether you are able to see the essentials of a problem or not. Then you have your organizing ability, how well are you able to organize the resources well in a systematic manner. And of course, your power of expression, whether you are able to communicate and express yourself or not. So that is one factor. Then you have your social adjustment factor, that is how well you are able to adjust to various situations and people, whether to your subordinates or to your superiors, and whether you have the tact and you are able to put yourself into other man's positions or not. And then how well you are able to adapt yourself to various situations. Then how well you are able to cooperate with others, and then your sense of responsibility, whether you are able to shoulder this responsibility that is levied upon you or not, or you are a casual person. So those things are taken into account. Then whether you are able to initiate an action and sustain that action and in the right direction or not. There is your self-confidence, how confident you are to face different situations, especially the stressful situations and situations that are unfamiliar to you, and whether you are maintaining your composure during that time or not. And then your speed of decision, how quickly and aptly you are able to apply yourself and take workable decision expeditiously. So that is your speed of decision that is taken into account. Then your ability to influence a group, whether the people are influenced by your actions or not. And of course, the liveliness, whether you are able to keep yourself buoyant and lively in stressful situations. And then your determination, how determined you are and how much efforts you are ready to put in to solve a particular problem. Then your courage, be it physical courage or your mental courage, and then of course your mental and physical stamina. So basically these are the 15 OLQs on which your assessment is done, and those OLQs are checked whether do you possess and how trainable you are further for the organization. If you are trained, whether you will be able to be an asset to the organization or not. So these things are taken into account.
राइट सर हमने ये देखा है कि किसी भी डिफेंस इंटरव्यू में, बीट CAPF और SSB इंटरव्यू, सो साइकोलॉजिस्ट इज़ अ कॉमन थिंग. सर व्हाट इज़ द नीड, लाइक व्हाट इज़ द मेन रिक्वायरमेंट, और बेसिकली व्हाट अ साइकोलॉजिस्ट वांट्स फ्रॉम अ डिफेंस एस्पिरेंट. सो बेसिकली सर हमने CAPF में भी देखा और SSB में भी देखा है. तो अनलाइक अदर इंटरव्यूज़, कॉर्पोरेट इंटरव्यूज़, so here the psychologist plays a very important role. So sir, what do you think, like what is the significance of this important you can say, sir, post?
See, basically what a psychologist does is he sees your mind through and through, whether you are suitable for the organization or not. And through the testing procedure, through the psychological test, your personality is judged and assessed, how suitable you are there for the organization, and whether you are going to be able to perform during stressful situations or not. Because in army or maybe CAPF for that matter, you will be put across a lot of stress, and there will be times when there will be a lot of pressure upon you. So whether can you handle that pressure or not? So that is one very important thing that needs to be seen amongst the candidates, or whether the candidate will break down or succumb to that pressure. So that is one factor that is very important and that is usually seen by the psychologist. And I'm sure in CAPF also they follow the similar lines.
Yes, sir. Sir, could you walk us through the various psychological tests conducted in the SSB interview?
Yeah, sure. Mole, we have basically 4 tests in the stage 2 testing, in which first is the TAT, that is thematic or perception test. Then you have a WAT, that stands for word association test. Then is SRT, that is situation reaction test. And then 4th is a self-description test. So basically, these are the 4 tests that a candidate is put through, and the assessment is made accordingly. So in thematic or perception test, if I elaborate, it is basically a test wherein you will be shown a total of 12 pictures, and you will be asked to write stories after seeing that picture. So it's basically a test of your imagination, in which you have to write a story wherein you will write what led to the situation, what is going on at present, and what the outcome will be. And you also have to describe the thoughts, feelings, and action of the characters seen in the picture. Basically, a 100-word story, or maybe a paragraph or so, you are supposed to write. And that is about TAT. Then is your word association test. Then this is also a test of your imagination. In this, whatever first thought or idea that comes to your mind on seeing a particular word, so you are supposed to express it in the form of a sentence. And it is again a test of your imagination, as I just mentioned. So it is not basically a sentence making test, but a test to see how you associate with a particular word and what is your thought process. That is what the primary aim of this test is. Then is your situation reaction test. Again, this is a test wherein you will be given around 60 situations, and you are given around 30 minutes of time to complete these 60 situations. Situations can be varying from normal day-to-day life situation to a complex situation, which is unfamiliar for a normal person, and how a person reacts to the situation and how that person responds rather. So that response is seen in those answers. So this is basically a 30 minutes test. So half a minute for each situation is given.
Yes.
And then you have self-description test, where you are supposed to describe about yourself and your opinions about your parents and teachers. And then you also self-introspect as to what all shortcomings and weaknesses, maybe your qualities also, or shortcomings that you need to work upon. So those things are generally seen. So it's a combination of these 4 tests, and based on that, the assessment is done by the psychologist.
Right, sir. Sir, there is a blank picture, that is the 12th picture, basically. So what is the importance of that blank slide?
Well, this blank slide is basically a sum total of the entire stories that you have written. Whatever stories you write, and last, it is basically your own imagination or your own creation. You are given a free hand where you can imagine a picture of your own choice and then write a story on that picture.
Yes, sir.
So there is no specific picture that is shown in that. It is totally blank. It is basically the imagination of the candidate, and it is seen how well imaginative that person is, and how well can the candidate express his thoughts and ideas after imagining that picture.
Exactly, sir. Sir, again, a question was asked from a candidate. So, is language mattered in the psychological test? Be it English or the proficiency in English, the grammatical mistakes and all, sir. Is all these things considered while evaluating?
Well, not really, since it's the test of your assessment of your it's a psychological assessment test. So the grammar part is not taken into cognizance, or you will not be penalized for the grammar part. But however, like any other test, if the grammar is good, then it's more appealing, definitely. But certainly no penalty is given when it comes to the grammar part. And so far as spoken English is concerned, I would say yes, it is important. How well you can communicate in English. Uh, it may not be a flawless British English, but certainly the basic understanding and basic communication, or maybe a mix of Hindi and English should be there. It cannot happen that the candidate is not able to communicate at all in English, so that makes it difficult for the candidate to clear the test.
Yes, sir. Sir, talking about the number of watts, so does that really matter?
Yes, I would say that it does matter, because if you are not able to complete the test, which is a very simple test, it is just 60 words, and these are simple day-to-day words of vocabulary. It is not a test to check your whether how much good your vocabulary is, because these are very basic words. So even if one is not able to write sentences on those basic words, then it puts a question mark. It gives a lot of doubt in the mind of the psychologist as to why that candidate is missing out on those simple sentences. So it is very important if you are appearing for a test that is so simple that you should be able to attempt all of them.
Right, sir. And sir, again, talking about the SRTs, sir, does here the number matters or the quality matters?
Well, certainly quality matters because it is not the quantity that we are trying to look for. It is the quality of response that comes from the candidate that is taken into account. So it's a mix of both quality and quantity, but quality certainly is very important.
Yes, sir. Sir, talking about the SD self description, so sir, like if a candidate is writing his or her SD, so what he or she should take into account? Like if or he or she is writing about father's opinion, friend's opinion, तो सर क्या सब चीज़ें मतलब ध्यान में रखनी चाहिए?
Well, see, again, it's not a template that I can give to you, but I can definitely, from the common sense, one can say that you need to, whatever your parents feel about you. So, whatever thought process your parents have, उनकी क्या विचार है आपके लिए, आपको वो बताने. So, they may feel that you are responsible, you are good at look after them well, how good you are able to take care of your whatever tasks they give you, the assignments that they give to you. So all those qualities that your parents feel that are there in you, what they think. So you need to mention, and of course you will have some shortcomings as well. So whatever things that on the day-to-day basis they tick you off for, or they pull your leg कि भाई तूने ठीक से काम नहीं किया या ये ऐसे नहीं किया तो those things can also be mentioned. That's very normal. So it is basically a sum total of what your parents think, your shortcomings, and your qualities that they appreciate you for. So it is about that.
Yes, sir. Sir, now talking about what are the common mistakes committed by candidates during these psychological tests?
What the most common mistake that I have seen as an assessor during my time is that many candidates come with a fixated mindset. They write, especially when being specific to the psychological test, they write templated stories. They either mug up few stories from either internet or maybe some of the coaching academies, give them, and then they come with a very fixated mindset. They are not basically using their own imagination. So because of the fixated cut, copy, paste stories that they give, so they are not able to project their real self. So this is something that is very commonly found in many dossiers that we assess. The other common mistake that we see is that the candidate tends to appear for the test very casually and doesn't prepare well. See, this is like any other interview. For whatever interview you may be going, you are supposed to be well prepared. So you have to scan yourself. You have to introspect as to what all areas that you need to work upon. So many candidates don't come with fully prepared. They just come casually thinking कि इसमें तो पता ही नहीं क्या होगा. So with that attitude if they come. So this is also one of the reasons that they face rejection because of that. And I would say that another common thing that is found is that they are either overconfident in their approach, or sometimes they are, of course, since they are not well prepared, they are also underconfident. So these are the common mistakes that I have seen. And of course, whenever they're going to see, I am not denying the fact that coaching is bad. Coaching is good. They must go to a coaching academy. However, please see who is the concerned assessor who is actually guiding you, whether the assessor is a trained, certified DIPR assessor or not. That is very important, because these coaching academies today have mushroomed like anything. And at most of the places, it is found that they are guiding the candidate wrongly, and they are, because of which the candidate it makes a wrong perception about the test, and then that candidate is not able to perform optimally the way his natural performance should have been. So these are the common things that I have observed.
So you have also started mentoring students for psychology.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Can you, sir, please tell me something about the new initiative?
Well, my aim to make the candidate is not to give him a cut, copy, paste solution. My aim is to enable the candidate to be empowered enough that he is able to take on the test very confidently. And at the same time, the candidate should be able to attempt the test without any biases and preconceived notions. My aim is to teach the technique, rather how to approach the test, rather than giving them a cut, copy, paste solution to a particular story or a particular word. So मैं उनको सक्षम बनाना चाहता हूँ कि वो अपने आप से ही इतना अच्छा परफॉर्म कर पाए that they don't have to actually depend upon those preconceived stories or preconceived words for that matter.
Yes, sir. So, how can candidates improve their responses in different tests?
See, as I mentioned, that this test is a test of your personality, and you have to first of all improve your thought process. थॉट प्रोसेस अगर अच्छा हो जाएगा तो आपके एक्शन अच्छे हो जाएंगे, आपके बिहेवियर अच्छा होगा. एक्शन बिहेवियर अच्छा होगा तो ये टेस्ट ऑटोमेटिकली फ्लो होगा. ऑफ कोर्स प्रैक्टिस इज डेफिनेटली रिक्वायर्ड. इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट लाइक एनी अदर टेस्ट एज आई मेंशन. So by improving your personality again doesn't mean the looks part, but how you conduct yourself on your day-to-day life, how much respectful you are to your parents, how much you listen to your elders, how much respectful you are to your seniors, how good are you at socializing with your friends, and basically आपकी विचारधारा कैसी अच्छी है. तो वो सब चीजें अगर आपने ये सब क्वालिटीज इम्बाइब करनी शुरू कर दी अपनी लाइफ में, तो ऑटोमेटिकली आपकी पर्सनैलिटी इंप्रूव होगी, आपका थॉट प्रोसेस इंप्रूव होगा, यू विल बिकम अ गुड सिटीजन ऑफ द कंट्री, एंड this test will be like a cakewalk for you.
Yes, sir. सर जैसा कि अभी आपने थॉट प्रोसेस के बारे में बताया है, तो सर व्हाट आई बिलीव कि सोशल मीडिया का कुछ ज़्यादा इन्फ्लुएंस आजकल मुझे जो लग रहा है कि वो थॉट प्रोसेस को लेके कुछ ज़्यादा इन्फ्लुएंस मतलब लोग हो रहे हैं. सर बीट एनीथिंग लाइक पीपल आर जस्ट फॉलोइंग पीपल्स. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक सर कि क्या सोशल मीडिया ये सब मतलब वाइल प्रिपेयरिंग, इफ समवन इज प्रिपेयरिंग, तो कुछ टाइम के लिए अवॉइड करना चाहिए ये सब कंटेंट एंड ऑल एवरीथिंग?
वेल, सोशल मीडिया फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इज अ वेरी गुड प्लेटफॉर्म. इसकी बहुत एडवांटेजेस हैं, विच like anything that has got its own pros and cons. So social media has also got its pros and cons. The advantage is that you got so much of data available that today you don't have to look for any other guidance. You got everything available on the internet. So that is a very plus point, I must say that. However, social media is a big issue. Today's youngsters are most of the time stuck to Instagram. They are addicted to it, I would say. So keeping a balance is very important. you need to have a balance key. I'll have my mobile phone with me from this time to this time. You need to divide your timings. So उस timing के बाद मैं उसको इस्तेमाल करूँगा ही नहीं mobile phone को. So this is very important, because if you are addicted to social media, you are spoiling your brain. It is very brain damaging, and rather any addiction for that matter. So that balance has to be maintained.
एग्जैक्टली सर. और आजकल सर रील और ये शॉर्ट्स का जो कल्चर चल रहा है सर, सो बेसिकली लाइक कैंडिडेट्स आर नॉट एबल टू फोकस, लाइक कंसंट्रेट. अगर कोई एक पिक्चर आप मतलब दिखाओगे तो लाइक दे आर वेरी ब्लैंक कि सर आइडियाज़ नहीं आ रहे हैं, मैं सोच नहीं पा रहा हूँ. सो सो सर डू यू थिंक कि सर मतलब ये कुछ ना कुछ निगेटिव वे में इफेक्ट कर रहा है?
Definitely, reels are something that you get addicted and to very easily, and you need to maintain a balance to see what kind of content you are seeing. That is also very important. The content matters. You should not totally depend upon internet for gathering information. You should be using some good books which you should be reading for improving your general knowledge. Today, I see youngsters for everything they depend upon the laptop, and that habit of healthy reading is somewhere missing, that I don't see in the people. So this is one thing that they have to work upon, keeping the social media reels watching in control, and having a time set for improving your general knowledge through books or maybe through other platforms.
राइट सर. सर मेरा अगला सवाल ये है कि लाइक इन द पिक्चर्स, इन टैट पिक्चर्स, TAT पिक्चर्स, सर कुछ नेगेटिव इमेजेस भी होते हैं. तो सर उन इमेजेस को सर कैसे मतलब हमें कैसे स्टोरी बनाना है लाइक फॉर दोज इमेजेस?
See, if a picture is already negative, which is negative by what you mean to say is maybe something some harm is happening somewhere, or maybe it could be anything. Maybe somebody is drowning, or maybe there is a theft, or maybe there is some kind of somebody stabbing someone. So it could be anything. So if it is a negative picture, so it is a negative picture. So there is no way that you can make a negative picture into a positive picture. If it is negative, so be it. So you have to write a story. What is the first thought again that comes to your mind? So you need to make a story as per that. So I would not say that for a negative story you have a preconceived notion कि मैं इसको positive में convert करके कर दूंगा, so I'll impress the assessor. So that is a wrong notion. For a negative story, for a negative picture, the story has to be aligned as per whatever the stimulus has been shown.
Yes sir. सर टॉकिंग अबाउट द SRT, जो मैंने पूछना सर मुझे पूछना चाहिए था, मैं भूल गया कि सर SRT में जैसे जब हम रिस्पॉन्स लिखते हैं, लाइक इट हैज़ टू बी वेरी शॉर्ट एंड क्रिस्प एंड इट हैज़ टू बी कंप्लीट.
Definitely it has to complete, and by short and crisp, it should be short and crisp, but it should be enough that you are able to communicate your reactions. So basically, whatever you are thinking, how you are going to react. So even if it is a little longish one, but your entire reaction should come in that. It should not happen that you are missing out on your reactions. So short और बड़ा से मैं ज़्यादा नहीं बोलूँगा. There might be some situations which may be very simple, wherein you can just finish it off in just one sentence. But there would be certain situations which are demanding, where you need to express yourself more and give out your actions. So that may be a longish one. So it really depends upon the situation that has been given to you.
Yes sir. सर कुछ सिचुएशन रिएक्शन टेस्ट में कुछ ऐसे सिचुएशंस होते हैं जो विच इज़ नॉट वेरी फेमिलियर फॉर एनी सिविलियन बैकग्राउंड स्टूडेंट्स. फॉर एग्जांपल सर एनी NCC से रिलेटेड कुछ हो, तो सर उस सिचुएशन रिएक्शन टेस्ट में बेसिकली उस सिचुएशन में तो एज अ सिविलियन कैंडिडेट वो सर वो मतलब क्या लिख सकता है, कैसे रिस्पॉन्स कर सकता है?
See, situations, first of all, they are not totally unfamiliar, I would say that, but unfamiliar situations are given to the candidates to put them So that, because see, every time you will not get familiar situations. Tomorrow, if one goes for a war or maybe for certain operations, counterinsurgency operations, or maybe certain other kind of operations by the special forces. So those situations are going to come to you, which will not be familiar to you in day-to-day situations. So you at least should know how to react. So if you are not able to even think that how you are going to react to those situations, then there's a big question mark on that. So even if a situation is unfamiliar, still kuch to action karoge aap. See, like for example, I would say that a person comes to you and hits you from behind, and he has got a knife in his hand. So it is not a situation that you will encounter on your day-to-day basis. This is a situation which is absolutely unfamiliar. It may not have happened with anybody. But आप अगर ऐसा कुछ होता है, आप अपने इमेजिन तो कर सकते हो कि मैं अगर ऐसा हुआ तो मैं क्या करूंगा. So basically, it is just those reactions that have to be written. Yeah.
Right, sir. Sir, is there any specific mindset or preparation strategy which you will recommend to the candidates?
Well, as I just mentioned, that the strategy is that you, like any other interview, you have to prepare yourself. So you have to work hard. So your factor 4, जिसको बोलते हैं, जो determination part will be seen. How much efforts have you put in to, if you are really keen to join the defense forces. So first of all, ये mindset बनाना पड़ेगा कि that I have to clear it and I have to make it for this organization and I have to give myself for the service of the nation. ये अगर किसी के अंदर भाव है तो ऑटोमेटिकली वो फ्लो करेगा. और हार्ड वर्क से मतलब देयर इज नो शॉर्टकट टू हार्ड वर्क. सो अगर उसको सिंपल वर्ड्स में अगर बोला जाए तो व्हेन इट कम्स टू you need to prepare your current affairs, you need to be updated about your surroundings, your whatever your current entry for which you are appearing. If you are appearing for maybe a CDS entry, or if you are already working somewhere, so you need to be updated about, you should be good at your work first of all. So that is important. So because the interviewing officer is going to ask you, what have you been doing all this while? So you need to be able to answer those questions कि आपकी क्या job profile है, आपकी क्या company है. Then I have seen candidates coming to the for the selection process and they are clueless about what army is. See, wherever you go for a particular job or particular avenue, wherever you are getting, you need to first find out about that organization. If you don't find out about that organization, then how do you expect the interviewing officer is going to select you? Likewise, for the group task and other things, you should be well versed with. You should have a good database, a good knowledge, so that you can communicate well, participate well in group discussions, and at the same time, you should be able to confidently give out lectures. So you need to update yourself with the current topics. And at the same time, when it comes to psychological tests, you need to be practicing so that the WAT, the SRTs, or if not practicing, then at least you should be able to think. So you need to tickle your imaginative mind. And of course, you are joining the defense forces, so physical fitness is very important. So one needs to at least spend 1 hour every day. That is my take. I still spend 1 hour every day for my physical fitness and give that 1 hour to my body. So that is very important. And of course, basic etiquettes like you should be well groomed, how to address people, and it's a formal interview. You should not be casual at all. So these are the things that one should keep in mind while preparing for the SSB.
यस सर. सर बात करें अगर PIQ फॉर्म की, तो सर द स्टोरीज विच वी राइट एंड द रेस्पॉन्सेज इन द SRTs, so it has to be in sync with the PIQ form which we have mentioned, the data in the PIQ form.
See, PIQ form is your entire biodata. Basically, it's your entire kundli जिसको बोलते हैं वो है आपकी. So one has to fill up that deliberately, honestly, and you cannot play around with your PIQ form. Whatever actually you have done, those things have to be mentioned. And when the psychologist will be going through your stories, and when the PIQ form is also going to speak something about you, so that has to be in sync with each other. If it is not syncing, then that means there is something wrong, something that was not supposed to be added has been added by the candidate. So those things have to be in sync with each other.
Yes, sir. And sir, basically this pillar, psychology is such, like the psychologist, they don't see the candidate until the conference day. So sir, do you get a fair idea about a candidate कि यार ये ऐसा बंदा होगा after seeing his dossier?
Definitely, we come to know we have a assessment procedure which we follow, and we make a complete personality profile of the candidate, and the entire you would say that the entire profile of the candidate is well evaluated by the assessor. So the personality is generally known, and we come to know whether the candidate is suitable for the organization or not.
Yes, sir. Sir, any three qualities which is completely not acceptable?
Well, there is no such thing that three qualities are not acceptable. But on a general level, I can say that you need to be a responsible person, a responsible citizen. That is very important. You need to be able to adjust with others well, and be able to, be able to cooperate with others in general. And you need to basically have that liveliness in you, which is very important, because if you are not lively enough, you will not be able to be composed, and you will not be able to face stressful situations, and you will not be able to keep yourself buoyant. So that is very important. And of course, you are joining the forces, so you have to have courage in you. So be it physical courage or be it mental courage. So these things have to be there, because अगर courage ही नहीं है बंदे में, तो फिर वो लड़ाई कैसे लड़ेगा? So those factors are important. But even other qualities, for that matter, have an equal role to play. So there is no such specific quality, I would say, कि ये आपके अंदर होनी नहीं चाहिए, नहीं होंगी तो आपको लेंगे नहीं करके. तो ऐसा कोई laid down rule नहीं है.
Yes, sir. सर एनी स्टोरी विच यू रिमेंबर, वो मतलब इतना अच्छा स्टोरी लिखा होगा कैंडिडेट ने जो आपको सर आज तक याद हो?
ऐसे तो बहुत सारी स्टोरीज हैं, आई वुड से दैट, बट नॉट स्पेसिफिकली दैट आई रिमेंबर नाउ. बट ऐसे कई कैंडिडेट्स आए थे, ऐसे कई उनके रिस्पॉन्सेज थे विच रियली टच्ड वन हार्ट, एंड वन क्लियर्ड दोस कैंडिडेट्स, एंड नाउ दे बिकम ऑफिसर्स आल्सो. सो बट नो specific as such, I don't remember exactly.
Yes, sir. So sir, basically these were some of the doubts which many of the candidates they have texted me. And sir, many of the candidates who are listening, they are basically repeaters. So sir, what advice would you give to the repeaters who feel demotivated? उन्हें लगता है कि अब तो मतलब मेरे it is not my cup of tea, अब नहीं होगा.
See, let me tell you very honestly that this test is like any other test. First of all, आप उस दिन perform नहीं कर पाए, so just take it in a stride. कभी कभी आप उस टेस्ट में नहीं परफॉर्म कर पाते हो तो आप नहीं सिलेक्ट होते. तो this is just like that. I have seen candidates who get selected, and in the next for the another entry they come, they get rejected क्योंकि performance नहीं हो पाया उस दिन. And I have also seen candidates who get selected in the 11th attempt, 12th attempt. They are so motivated to join the forces, and they keep on working upon themselves. So you need to know what your shortcomings are. And frankly speaking, everybody knows कि मेरे अंदर क्या कमी है. Just that हम कई बार accept नहीं करते हैं उस चीज को, and we tend to overlook that कि भैया नहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है. So whenever we make a mistake also, our mind will always tell you, कहीं ना कहीं conscious mind बताएगा आपको कि भाई ये तेरी में ये गलती है, तेरे में कमी है. उस चीज को पकड़ के उसको accept करके, और then you work upon that. I think if somebody makes that realization, so that half the battle is won there itself. So मेरे हिसाब से demoralize होने की तो कोई बात ही नहीं है. Keep on working and pursuing your goal, and if you are really determined to work upon your shortcomings, I don't think that this is that ki nobody is going to stop you from getting selected. 100% selection will be there provided you are working hard. And smart working is also important. How smartly you are working. I would recommend that whenever you go for any coaching, for that matter, please ensure that you are taking the right coaching, because as I mentioned that there are many coaching academies who are guiding the youth in such a way that they are not being fed properly, they're not being guided well. As a result, they end up spoiling their test rather than getting benefited from that. Coaching is not bad, coaching is good, but provided you are taking coaching from the right place. Yeah.
Right, sir. Sir, after assessing so many copies, so many dossiers, so like you would be कि यार ये इस कोचिंग से आया है, मतलब इतना एक्सपीरियंस सर हो गया होगा कि यहाँ से ये कोचिंग करके आया है. Isn't it, sir?
See, for coaching, I would say that as I just mentioned, आपको टेस्ट में कैसे अपीयर होना है उसकी कला सीखनी है, rather than copy paste solution लिखने हैं. However, कि अब कौन सी कोचिंग एकेडमी है तो that तो we don't know, there are so many of them. But एक कोच रिस्पॉन्स अगर कोई कैंडिडेट दे रहा है जो कि प्री कंसीव्ड है पहले से और विच इज अ कट कॉपी पेस्ट सोल्यूशन, तो वो तो ऑटोमेटिकली पता लग ही जाता है. एंड एट टाइम्स वन ऑल्सो नोज की दैट दिस कैंडिडेट हैज द पोटेंशियल टू गिव अ गुड, he has the potential to make it, but because the responses, because of the wrong guidance that the candidate has been given, uski wajah se that candidate gets stuck up and we have no choice to rather to hold him back. So it is very important that you have a clear rationally you think कि आपने कैसे करना है and then go about it.
Right, sir. Right, sir. So, sir, now we'll open the floor to question from our audience. And
Yes.
so all the audience who are listening, you can ask your question. Just you can raise your hand or you can type in the chat section. I'll take all your doubts और एक एक करके आपके डाउट्स लूँगा, और जो भी आपके डाउट्स हैं रिलेटेड टू साइकोलॉजी, राइट, तो जस्ट फील फ्री टू आस्क. Gagandeep.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I have the problem that I speak fast, and many times I fumbled and take a pause like just like that. So how it can be solved, and what impression could be in interview?
First of all, you need to better take care that whenever you are speaking, you speak deliberately. Don't rush your thoughts, and don't be in a hurry that I have to answer this question immediately. Take a pause,
Okay,
take a breather, and then start answering the question deliberately. Then next thing is that don't be under any pressure or handle the stress well. If you are going to be under pressure or be in a stressful condition, then of course this issue might crop up. And the other thing is that improve your knowledge, work upon that. Once you are confident कि भैया मेरे पे अब knowledge आ गई है, मेरे को सब experience है, तो अब now I have no issues or no worry to फेस. इंटरव्यूअर भी कोई कौन है, भगवान थोड़ी है. इंटरव्यूअर भी तो आप जैसा ही एक नॉर्मल एक ह्यूमन बीइंग ही है. सो टेक इट दैट वे, और उसको फिर आप उस कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ, उस ऐलान के साथ आप जब जाओगे, बैठोगे, फेस करोगे, तो नॉर्मली आपके रिस्पॉन्सेज निकलेंगे, कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल रहेगा आपका, और यू विल नॉट फंबल.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, the next question is asked by Himanshu. He is asking, what about negative VAT?
एज आई मेंशन, जैसे नेगेटिव वर्ड भी, अगर कोई नेगेटिव वर्ड भी आता है तो उसके अंदर अब आपने सेंटेंस बनाना है. तो कई लोग ये एक बहुत गलतफहमी बोलते हैं कि नेगेटिव वर्ड को है तो नेगेटिव में आप पॉजिटिव बना दो उसको. सो अब नेगेटिव वर्ड है तो है, वो क्या कर सकते हो उसका, so you have to make a sentence accordingly.
Yes, sir. Sir, for example, some words like which I remember, like blood or for murder. So these kind of words like usually appear in the SSB. तो सर फॉर एग्जाम्पल मर्डर इज द वर्ड, तो सर इससे क्या सेंटेंस बना सकते हैं?
अब मैं सेंटेंस तो नहीं तुम्हारे को बता सकता, वो तो आपने बनाना है ना, बिकॉज एज आई सेड आई डोंट टीच कट कॉपी पेस्ट सॉल्यूशंस.
यस सर.
तो बट अब ब्लड है तो ब्लड पे सेंटेंस बनेगा. आई मीन ब्लड देख के अब आपको जो भी फर्स्ट थॉट आता है, अब आप बताओ आपके दिमाग में क्या थॉट आ रहा है? ब्लड
डोनेशन ही आता है. ब्लड डोनेशन. ठीक है, दैट इज फाइन, फेयर इनफ. यस सर.
तो ब्लड डोनेशन के ऊपर आप एक अच्छा सा एक सेंटेंस बना सकते हो विच इज नाइस एंड अपीलिंग एंड हैज गॉट डेप्थ, मीनिंगफुल वैल्यू टू इट.
यस सर. So the third question is how to boost self-confidence.
See, self-confidence is basically, if you see the definition also, it says that the ability to meet stressful situations which are unfamiliar, right? So, you first of all, you need to be confident in making familiar situations. पहले तो familiar situation जो होती है, मतलब day-to-day situation होती है, उसमें हम confidence अपना gain करें. Then next place where I have seen candidates lacking is public speaking. So this is one place where many candidates get stuck up and they are hesitant in speaking in a public forum. So that is one place that they need to work upon. They can take some workshops. आजकल बहुत सारी होती हैं जो कि एक ग्रुप डिस्कशन सिखाते हैं. लेक्चरेट्स में कैसे बोलना है, कैसे बात करनी है. Those things are taught. So those things can be as a side way, in addition to preparing for a SSB, these things can also be accounted for. Then I would say that there is a common hesitation amongst the candidates that they don't mingle up with others well. So breaking the barrier, breaking the ice, and introducing yourself and meeting up other people whom you don't know. So that is also a place where they lack. So breaking that barrier, that has to be done by you yourself. So these are common things. Then of course, as you boost up your knowledge, your self-confidence will automatically increase when you know about the worldly affairs, when your current affairs is well updated. So automatically confident, it gives a boost to your confidence. And spoken English, as I said, is important. You should work upon your spoken English also. It is a very common way that is these days. In fact, during my time, it was taught कि अगर आप थोड़ा सा hesitant होते हो या कुछ होते हो तो you speak with yourself in a room alone in front of the mirror and make, आजकल तो mobiles है, you can make a recording of yourself also and then judge for yourself कि मेरे में क्या कमी है, how whether I am able to communicate well or not. तो इस तरीके से करके आपके confidence level automatically boost होगा.
Yes sir. So the next question is, how is our responses in psych test is just with our PIQ? If you could give examples how to be consistent with PIQ in our responses.
Can you come again with the question?
So basically the question is how to be consistent with PIQ in our responses in the psych.
See, you don't have to think कि मैंने PIQ में क्या लिखा है और फिर मैं psych में क्या लिखूंगा. You have to be yourself and you have to first of all fill up the PIQ form very deliberately and honestly. And likewise, you attempt your stories also with an imaginative mind. So leave that job to the psychologist to correlate and collaborate. You don't have to actually, be thinking कि भाई मैंने PIQ में ये लिखा है तो मैं यहाँ पर ये करूँगा, तो वो आपको सोचने की जरूरत नहीं, वो काम उसके ऊपर छोड़ दो.
Yes sir. So the next question is, sir, how to go about TAT stories if not getting theme idea at that time?
वेल अब आइडिया तो आपको लगाना ही पड़ेंगे. मैंने बोला प्रैक्टिस करो, पहले से थोड़ा सा आइडिया लगाओ, ऑटोमेटिकली थिंग्स विल फ्लो. जब आप घर में कुछ एक्शन ही नहीं करोगे, मतलब घर की चीजें, मतलब घर से मेरा मतलब है कि अपनी डे टू डे एक्टिविटीज पे आप वर्क अपॉन करो, आप रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज शेयर करो, आप अलग अलग रोल्स प्ले करते हो, उनको प्ले करो, और जितना अवेयरनेस और एक्सपोजर दोगे अपने आप को, ऑटोमेटिकली आइडियाज आएंगे. क्यों नहीं आएंगे आइडियाज? बट अगर घर में बैठ के कोई रील देखता रहेगा तो फिर आइडियाज कैसे आएंगी? So it is that.
Exactly. Sir, the next question is about screening process. सर इसमें ये पूछा गया है कि सर स्क्रीनिंग में देयर इज अ फिश मार्केट लाइक सिचुएशन, तो उस सिचुएशन से कैसे डील करेंगे?
Well, it is oftenly seen that in the group discussion, when it comes to especially the repeater batch, there at times that a fish market does develop. I agree with that. However, a GTO in that case divides the group into two parts, so that everybody gets an opportunity to speak. So that is one. And if you are confident enough, and if you have got good ideas and valid points, then when you speak, तो दूसरे लोग सुनेंगे आपकी बात, ऐसी बात नहीं है. बट अगर आप उसमें डर के मारे चुपचाप बैठ जाओगे कि बस फिश मार्केट में है तो मैं भी फिश बन जाऊं उसके अंदर, और मार्केट के अंदर मैं भी सिर्फ बोलता रहूं एमलेसली, उसका कोई फायदा नहीं है. So if you have to give up a point, it has to be given with confidence, and it has to be spoken in such a way that people listen to you, and you need to find a window of opportunity after all to speak. It cannot happen that आप चुपचाप बैठ जाओगे या सकम कर जाओगे तो फिर वो आपको सिलेक्ट कर लेंगे, तो वो तो पॉसिबल नहीं है.
Yes, sir. Sir, the next question is like what should be the approach to choose the profession of our main character, as the candidate is college pass out, so his story revolves around student. So can we make other roles like doctor, IAS officer?
Why not? अगर उसके अंदर पिक्चर में आपको लग रहा है कि कोई ऐसा बंदा है जो कि एक डोमिनेटिंग रोल में है, और आपको लगता है कि वो डॉक्टर है, तो डॉक्टर को आप क्यों नहीं कोरिलेट करके बना सकते हो? यू हैव टू रिलेट. ऑफ कोर्स डॉक्टर है तो आप पुलिस वाला थोड़ी बनाओगे वहां पर, या आर्मी वाला थोड़ी बनाओगे, डॉक्टर वाला रोल ही प्ले करोगे आप तब.
Yes, sir. So the next question is, many students cramming VAT words because without preparation it is going more like suggestions and facts only. How do you look into this?
See, the test is very simple. Whatever first thought or idea that comes to your mind, you have to express it in the form of a sentence. So by practicing these words, if you practice good words and the common day-to-day words, आप उसके अपने अच्छे विचार से आप उसको सेंटेंस बना के प्रैक्टिस करोगे, ऑटोमेटिकली आपका कॉग्निटिव माइंड भी उसी तरीके से काम करेगा और आपके फ्लो में आएंगे सारे सेंटेंसेस. तो उसमें फिर आपको एफर्ट नहीं लगेगा उस समय सोचने का. बट अगर तैयारी नहीं करेंगे तो फिर कैसे काम चलेगा? बट हाँ, सर्टनली यूजिंग idioms एंड फ्रेजेस आई वुड नॉट रिकमेंड, बिकॉज वो तो रट के आपने बस लिख दिया करके वाली बात हो जाएगी, तो आपकी अपनी क्रिएटिविटी कहाँ गई?
यस सर. सर इसमें हम सजेशंस भी नहीं इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं, लाइक शुड और कुड?
वेल, अब सजेशंस का तो मैं क्या बोलूं कि यू कैन नॉट बी सेइंग कि भैया शुड या कुड वर्ड यूज ही नहीं करना है. It depends upon the kind of word that has been used, but certainly if you are making observational responses which are of your own imagination, then ये should और could का तो सवाल ही नहीं उठता है, ये आएंगे ही नहीं आपकी उसमें.
Right, sir. Sir, the next question is just a question. I know, sir, already told ki no spoon feeding, but can you tell if it is okay to show little intimacy if in picture it is clearly seen by us? Does assessor judge us or does it put negative impact? Basically हिमांशु ने ये पूछा है सर.
Okay. See, intimacy is a very normal, natural emotion of a human being. So to what extent, whether the person who is writing the story is following the socially desired norms or not, socially acceptable norms or not, it all depends upon that. To what extent is the person heading to? Our intimacy is a normal emotion. We all have friends, we all have girlfriends also. So there's nothing wrong in that.
Right, sir. So basically, these were some of the doubts by candidates. Any other doubts? Anyone who wants to ask something? Pujat, you have any doubts? You have raised your hand.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding the TAT. In the TAT, there is an introduction in the TAT like the feelings and thoughts. What type of feelings and thoughts we have to write?
See, whenever you are
in the TAT, we have to write. Yes, continue. Sorry, sir.
Yeah. So, see, whenever you are seeing a picture, you will see certain characters in the picture. So those characters will be either doing some action, they will be engaged something. It can be a social situation, it can be a situation which is very dynamic in nature. So they would be having certain expressions, certain feelings, thoughts उनके चल रहे होंगे जो आपको लगता है उनके expressions देख के. So whatever thoughts and feelings उनकी जो आपको लगता है कि वो होंगी उस situation के अंदर, वो आपको अपनी story के अंदर लिखनी है. So it can be a simple thing. A person can be angry, और कोई ऐसा सीन हो सकता है कि कोई उसको किसी को मार रहा है या किसी को वो कर रहा है, स्टैबिंग भी हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. तो वो किस तरीके से उसकी जो ऑब्वियसली अब एंगर में है तो एंगर वाला इमोशन ही लिखा जाएगा. उसको हम ये नहीं बोल सकते कि अब ये तो अब बड़ा अच्छा क्या पार्टी मोड चल रहा है, वो नहीं होना चाहिए. तो व्हाटएवर इमोशंस एंड फीलिंग्स जो लग रही है उसकी कैरेक्टर्स की, वो आपको अपनी स्टोरी के अंदर ऐड करनी है, अपने जो हीरो जो आप बनाते हो पिक्चर का.
राइट सर. अनिकेत, you have any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Aniket.
So the problem I face is in the VAT. After writing 10-12 sentences, from the 13th or the 14th one, I just get blanked. And that affects the next 2 words, 3 words. And in the long run, I see that I missed about 10 words. So how to cope up with that becoming blank in mid of the VAT exam?
See, ये टेस्ट को एक तो बहुत कैंडिडेट्स क्या करते हैं कि they come under tremendous stress when they appear for the psychological test. तो इसको एक तो स्ट्रेस में नहीं आना. This is a common thing that what you are mentioning is that means you would tend to come under a lot of stress. So that is one of the reasons why you are not able to answer the question. ठीक है. And next thing is that maybe at some point of time you even if you are having ideas with you, still you are not able to write them down and you are getting blank. So it is primarily a cause that you are coming under stress. So relax and don't come under stress and practice more, of course. Keep on practicing, making good quality sentences. So show it to your in fact see for yourself कि आपने किस टाइप का सेंटेंस बनाया है. Take time, टाइमर लिख के आप प्रैक्टिस करोगे तो क्यों नहीं होगा. तो ऑटोमेटिकली आपका कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल भी बढ़ेगा, तो स्ट्रेस में भी नहीं आओगे. सो आई एम श्योर यू विल बी एबल टू resolve this issue.
So the next question is, what should be the optimum facial expression desired from a candidate during the interview? And he want to ask basically what should be avoided during the interview considering the facial expressions.
See, you should be very normal, natural, what you are. You don't have to make up yourself to a different person altogether and portray that you are somebody else. So your facial expression should be very normal, natural. That is one. Second thing is that your body language, your composure, the way you are sitting, the way you are, the demeanor and the posture that you have, it should look that you are confident, and it should appeal to the interviewing officer that the person has enough confidence and faith in his abilities. And you should have always eye-to-eye contact with the interviewer. It should not happen that you are thinking something, looking up, or hand movement is very important. You should not be too fidgety with your hands. You should sit in a composed manner, that you should not be moving your hands or your legs. So those things are very important for any interview, not just for an army interview, but for any interview for that matter. So your demeanor, your posture, your confidence, your eye contact, and a calm and a composed facial expression is also very important when you are facing an interview.
Right, sir. Any other doubts, anyone? All right. So, sir, there is no further doubts. Okay. All right. Sir, so there is no further doubts. And we can, sir, conclude the session. Big thanks for joining us and enlightening us about the... Sir, again, a doubt from a candidate. Could you suggest some books for developing imagination requiring psych? Any books, sir?
Well, no specific book for increasing the imagination, but आपकी imagination automatically बढ़ जाएगी जब आप familiar चीजों को करना शुरू कर दोगे घर में. अच्छे से मैंने बताया था कि चीजें करने लग जाओगे. You can go through maybe some मतलब बचपन से हम पढ़ते आए हैं. We read fiction also, fiction novels also. So, but no specific book as such I can mention that can help you out. But keep on trickling your mind. आपके दिमाग में चलना चाहिए, क्योंकि आप SSB की तैयारी कर रहे हो, तो अब आपके दिमाग में फोटोज भी आनी चाहिए कि अगर ऐसी फोटो आई तो मैं क्या लिखूंगा, ऐसी सिचुएशन आएगी तो मैं क्या लिखूंगा. Keep on, tickling your mind. The more you tickle your mind, the more your mind gets active. So, specific book तो ऐसे मैं कोई recommend नहीं करूँगा.
Okay, sir. All right. So, sir, we can wind up the session now. Thanks a lot for joining the session and enlightening us about the psych and everything, the details about this process. And I hope this session was helpful for all the other candidates who have joined. And sir, like you can contact sir, and I have mentioned the details. You can follow sir's Instagram handle. Sir is also on YouTube. आप वहाँ पे भी follow कर सकते हैं, subscribe कर सकते हैं. और I have also mentioned the contact number of sir. In case anyone has any problem related to psych, तो आप बिल्कुल सर से अप्रोच कर सकते हैं.
Most welcome. It was a very heartening experience for me as well, interacting with the young budding aspirants, and I wish them all the very success, and wish you achieve your goal, and may your dreams and wishes come true. And these are my wishes for all of you. God bless you all. And for any further assistance and guidance, you can get in touch with me. You are most welcome, and I'm always there for you. I think somebody picked up a hand. Somebody picked up a hand.
Yes, sir. Pujat has some doubts.
Yes.
Sir, I have a doubt. Sir, I have a personal doubt.
Yes.
Can I talk in one-to-ones when the candidates are left?
Yes,
most welcome. You have, I think my contact number has also been shared.
Yes, sir.
So you can text me. It's my WhatsApp number. It is 7006265261. You can note it down, and you can get in touch with me. I'll repeat it. It is 7006265261.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, most welcome. And in case any of you want to go through a psychological assessment that I offer, that you are most welcome to undergo that as well.
Right, sir. Any other doubts, anyone? All right. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for the time.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All the best. Good luck. Do well.
Thank you, sir.
And work hard.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, sir.
Good night. Thank you, sir.